It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Friday, the 4th of April. I'm Michael Groff. An absolutely gorgeous day out there today. Temperatures below average, a few clouds around. I guess there could be an isolated shower this afternoon over southern Arizona. Doubtful that we'll see anything in the valley, but it's not completely out of the question. But then after that, get ready because a warming trend begins in earnest for this weekend and especially next week. The warmest temperatures potentially that we've had this year. Could it be finally our first 100-degree day of 2025? We'll talk about that and so much more as we dive on in. But before we can even do that, it's Friday. And that means it's Photo Friday here. That's where we take a look at some of the photos and or videos that you guys have submitted. First up, David Parnell. That's the dude that took this picture. Last Saturday would be the time that he took this picture. And the place, Sandra Day O'Connor High School. That's up in the North Valley. High school sports ongoing. And I guess this was a makeup game from March 13th, David says, because that game got rained out and there were high winds around. So, yeah, March was that kind of month. So thank you, David, for that. And speaking of March, around here, the old saying is April showers bring May flowers. In Phoenix, it's more like March showers bring April flowers. And, well, Beth in North Phoenix has plenty of those growing in her garden. Take a look at those. Very just magnificent stuff. Always good to see the flowers in bloom. Yes, every time that Beth sends in these pictures, I always bring up what's going on in our garden. And yeah, it's everything is blooming around here. It's fantastic. And this weather has been great for that. Now, here's weather that's not so great for that. That's up in Montana. This is from Buck. And yeah, they had a few inches of snow up there. It's still cold. It looks cold. Look at that picture. It looks like definitely still very wintry with snow and some soft hail and graupel and just chilly, chilly weather that is still going up there. Where is he? I believe he's in Helena, Montana. So yeah, it's chilly. That's for sure. But that will be changing. I mean, we are moving towards spring. I know it's a short season up there, but nonetheless, it will be warming up with time. All right, then we go to Gary out there a little west of Buckeye, and he's got some pictures of some everything going up. Again, the flowers, the desert, it is in bloom. We love to see that. And then these are pictures courtesy of our friend Mary. And she is out in, near Apache Junction. Good view of the Superstition Mountains. This is the view out looking out her house. I mean, isn't that a gorgeous view? I mean, that is the kind of view you want to see out there. So that is sensational. And then I don't know. I think these are from Michael, not me, but another Michael. Yeah, there's a few of us on this planet, I guess, up there at Sunset Point. And these are from the other day when we had some clouds and some scattered showers around. Kind of ominous looking skies. Beautiful. That's the kind of sky I like to see. And then Miles, Palm Desert, California, Miles Sampson, checking in. And he said there was some sprinkles, some showers, some wind, cool temperatures. And again, that unfortunately out there in Palm Desert, that will also be coming to an end. Here comes the heat. And then we go to, from that to, I believe this is Steve up in Willow Creek, Steve and Renee, and they had a little bit of snow up there in northwest Arizona. Yep, still not too late for that up in the higher terrain. But again, I don't think we're going to be seeing any snow or precipitation across the state after, maybe in eastern Arizona tomorrow. But then after that, things are going to be quiet for some time. William has a couple of pictures from downtown Phoenix. That looks like quite the rain shaft. He says that a microburst. I'll tell you what, that does look a little suspicious, but that could be some rain, a little bit of hail maybe coming out of that. And then he does send in a couple of these graphics of the rainfall totals, and of course, a lot of places did not get much, if anything at all. Kind of typical of this sort of a pattern. And then we go international. Zane down in Brisbane, Australia. And he sent in some pictures, and I missed these, and I'm glad that he reminded me of this. Gorgeous pictures, courtesy of Zane. And we love to see what's going on down there in Australia. Of course, we are moving toward, we're in spring. We're headed towards summer. They are in the fall now. And the weather is looking gorgeous. Also, of course, since it's Australia, it wouldn't be Australia if you didn't have some type of picture of a reptile. This is one of their lizards. I'm sure it's quite possibly the size of a tree branch, because that's how everything is down there in Australia. But look, it looks like a beautiful country. It really does. It's just one of those things you have to watch out for. What are those cassowary birds? And like there's spiders, and I mean, it's people from Australia, man. You are tough people. It's kind of like living here in Arizona with our snakes and everything, but imagine that then times 50 and just, multiply the size of birds, snakes, spiders. That's Australia, but that's why Australia is awesome. I mean, it's a fantastic place. And the weather's pretty fantastic, at least depending on where you are, but Brisbane is looking great. And that brings about another issue. Zane wanted me for our April Fool's Day, and again, I didn't see this email until recently. He wanted us to do the Brisbane, Australia weather discussion. And well, I'm not going to do a full weather discussion. I will. Let's go to a few graphics, okay? Let's just real quick check in on what's going on down there. Here's a look at rainfall for Brisbane. This goes out through the 18th of April. This is off the GFS Ensemble. And look, this is in obviously international units. This is the metric system. So the ensemble mean here is about 20 millimeters of rain. So a little bit under an inch of rain over the next couple of weeks. European ensemble slightly more bullish than that, but still looks like some precipitation down there, at least more than what we're going to see here in Phoenix. And temperatures off the European ensemble because we don't have national blend of models for Australia, obviously. So, but it looks like daytime highs will generally be in about the 24 to 28 degrees Celsius range. So if you're wondering, that's mid 70s to low 80s. And overnight lows, mostly in the 60s by, imperial units, generally 15 to 18 degrees Celsius. So looks pretty nice in Brisbane. All right. And on top of all that, we also have some video to roll here. Let me see. I believe this is from Joe up in the Grand Canyon. He says, there was a little bit of snow. A few snowflakes were flying up there. And again, that's awesome. We can use all the precipitation we can get. And let me see. This is from Clayton in North Phoenix. You can see what was going on there as well. And that's Photo Friday for the week. Photos, videos. Man, that was a lot of content. I'm ready to go to bed. That was a lot. All right. groffshow@gmail.com is our email address if you want to send in your photos or videos. groffshow@gmail.com for Photo Friday. And let me just tell you, I appreciate each and every one of you for sending in those photos and videos. We love that. Hey, the longer the Photo Friday segment, the better, right? We need all these because we know what's coming. The dry season is coming, and we're not going to have pictures of rain. We're not going to have thunderstorms. We're not going to have microbursts. So we got to enjoy it while we can, right? All right, let's get into it. The almanac from yesterday, 70 degrees was the afternoon high, 52 the morning low, 83 and 58 are the averages for this time of year. Outside right about now here at 12:15 p.m. How about it? Few clouds out there right now. We're sitting at 66 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew points 30, humidity 26%. The winds are light. The barometer is falling. Satellite picture out here across the southwest. Our trough is still hanging around, but the last piece of it here, we've got this little upper low. And you can see this on the satellite picture over the last 20 hours or so. This thing is still spinning around, centered pretty much right over southwest and south central Arizona. And because of the position of that feature, guess what? We're probably not going to see any rain this afternoon. I know you might think, well, the low is pretty much right over us or just south of us, but I don't think we're going to get anything in here today. We might catch a shower that comes in here off of the higher terrain, but that is looking more and more unlikely with each model run here off of our convection allowing models, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But so we'll get to that in a second. But here's the watch warning map, and it is day 3 of some very active weather across the country. We've got a tornado watch from the Arklatex up to around Little Rock and Jonesboro, and some of those same areas that have just been hammered by severe weather day after day after day. And here we go again. We've got some flood watches and flood advisories again from northeastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, all the way up into the Ohio Valley. Same places that have been getting hit are just getting it over and over again with waves of showers and thunderstorms. The convective outlook, we've got the moderate risk of severe storms, level 4 out of 5, Longview, Texas, Jonesboro, Little Rock, Arkansas, with the enhanced risk, including places like Memphis, Paducah, Kentucky, Evansville, Indiana. And the broader severe weather risk, again, from right around Midland all the way up to Cincinnati and Columbus, Ohio. So it's, this is just basically a copy paste of the map that we have had for the last few days. And again, all modes of severe weather, especially in that enhanced and moderate risk area, including a few violent long-track tornadoes will be possible. Strong damaging straight-line winds and large hail are especially likely there. All right, now here in Arizona, we're in the green. A few thunderstorms possible, maybe. I just don't know. We do have the cold air aloft, so I guess a rumble of thunder isn't out of the question. But for the most part, we shouldn't have to worry about that around here. Precipitation outlook, this is valid through Friday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, probably nothing. Statewide, eastern Arizona could see generally at or under 1/10 of an inch. All right, let's get to the details of this forecast. Let's see what's going on, how hot it gets, all of that as we get to the models. Here we go. This is the GFS. It's the 12Z run. This is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. And we've got this ridge in the east, got a trough out here in the southwest where that clash of air masses happens to be, that deep southwesterly flow. That's where your severe weather is, from the Plain States up into the western Great Lakes and the Ohio Valley. That's where you get the rain. That's where you get the storms. That's where all the action is. But what it means for us with that area of low pressure around down at the surface for the rest of the day today, we'll see some clouds this afternoon, enough to call it partly cloudy, and there's a slight chance we could see a shower around here this afternoon. High temperatures, upper 60s to low 70s, and that is about 10 degrees below where we ought to be for this time of year. Most of the precipitation will be concentrated over northern and eastern Arizona, wet precipitation there is. But just taking a look at it, this is the HRRR, our high-resolution rapid refresh model. This is the simulated radar product valid at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And you can kind of see there's some showers dancing around southern Arizona, up on the rim and maybe dipping into northern Maricopa County. And it's not out of the question that a shower or two could rotate in here. Those showers are going to be moving basically from east to west, at least across northern Maricopa and Yavapai County. They'll be moving east to west. You can kind of see how they're moving there on this, even though it's not animated. The showers across eastern Arizona will be moving north. Those showers just to the north of us moving west, kind of everything moving counterclockwise around that little upper low. And we're kind of in that donut hole here across southern Arizona. So it's just unlikely that we'll see anything here in Phoenix, but not completely out of the question. We'll put about a 10% chance into the forecast. Now for tonight, once the sun goes down, we lose the thermodynamics, so we clear out pretty quickly. Overnight lows 40s in the cool spots, maybe around 50 or the low 50s for the urban core. It'll be a cool night, and it'll set the stage tomorrow for a beautiful day. Again, starting the day, mid-40s to low 50s. High temperatures tomorrow afternoon will top out in the mid-70s to about 80 degrees. Gorgeous day. The Foundation Fighting Blindness having their vision walk tomorrow. That is a fantastic event. Highly encourage you guys to go and participate in that. And that's going to be a great day, great event. That's tomorrow morning. And the weather should be just perfect for that. All right, let's keep on going. Here's Sunday. Yeah, we're warming it up. Mid-80s, maybe upper 80s, close to 90 on Monday. Low 90s on Tuesday. Low to mid-90s on Wednesday. High pressure continues to build in. The air mass is dry. Here's Thursday. We're in the mid to upper 90s. Now, right now, as it stands, National Blended Models printing out a high of 99 degrees out here by the end of the week. You know, Thursday, Friday, we'll be in the mid to upper 90s. Will we hit 100? It's kind of a coin flip right now. A little bit less than a coin flip's chance that we hit 100 degrees. Some of the guidance comes in just a degree or two lower than what we were looking at yesterday. And what do I always tell you guys? 99, 100, what difference does it make? It's hot. But it's symbolic, I guess, because it's that first 100-degree day of the year. And, you might remember, longtime Valley residents, some of the local radio stations and TV stations used to have the contest for when will we have our first 100-degree day of the year. And, I never did win that. I got very close. I missed it by one day, I think, once, but I never did win it. And I've never been, as long as I've been doing the weather, it's the lottery, right? No one's ever going to be able to guess with any skill when that happens. But I would say our best chance will be next Thursday or perhaps Friday. This is a week from today, the 11th of April. High pressure is still sitting around here right over the southwest. And look, we're cooking. Those heights are well above average. And so temperatures, I'd say anywhere from about 95 to 99 degrees here in Phoenix. All right, looking all the way out at the end of this forecast period, this is Sunday the 13th. And again, you've got this trough that's developing off of the Pacific Northwest coast. The GFS has been advertising that for quite some time. And temperatures should start to lower as the ridge moves off to the east and the heights relax ever so slightly, a broader southwesterly flow. Maybe some high clouds would come in if this verifies. And there is somewhat more consistent messaging from the global models that troughing will set up along the west coast, and that should cool us off a little bit. But when I say cool us off, I think temperatures will still be above average, just not quite up toward the triple digits, probably back toward the mid-80s to about 90. All right, looking at rainfall for Phoenix. This is off of the GFS ensemble. And again, this is out through the 18th of the month. And the ensemble mean is basically nothing. European ensemble, basically nothing for the next couple of weeks. Any chance of precipitation today? Let's see. You got two members there. You got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total here. So there you go. Not a lot of possibilities for precipitation according to our ensemble guidance. Temperatures off the National Blend of Models, beautiful today, not even bad tomorrow, but here comes the heat. And you can see by late next week, 99 degrees by Friday the 11th, according to the National Blend of Models, but that is not 100. And for those of you that like those symbolic things like, hey, at least it wasn't 100, well, if we take this at face value, if you take it literally, if this plays out as advertised, we avoid the triple digits for at least the next 10 days or so. But to me, 99 degrees might as well be 100. All right. That's it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here on Monday morning, but of course, updates before that if necessary. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, and of course you do, then be sure to subscribe. Like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really enjoy what we're doing here and you want to support the channel, well, then click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube and make those monetary contributions to us. Or even better than that is if you donate directly via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It is groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name. It's called Sweet Child Arizona. I'm talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Her blogs, videos, everything that's Michelle related and quite possibly even Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description. So do check that out. Also, what you should be checking out is our streaming station. It's available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music, have a lot of fun with that over there. And it's the most chaotic mix of music you will ever hear. Links to that are down in the description, or of course you can go directly to kmgx.com and listen via that avenue. And if you do that, if you listen to KMGX, you might just hear something like this. And there you go. Actually, I know what that was I don't even have to look. Do you know what that was? If you do, maybe we could have a prize, or at least a hearty handshake and a pat on the back for you if you could guess what song that was. We can't play any more than that because then we get demonetized, and the last 20 minutes I've done worth of talking is for naught. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support. It really is so greatly appreciated. We could not do these videos without you guys, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Please be safe out there and have yourselves a great Friday and a wonderful weekend.